You're listening to Off the Vine with Kaitlyn Bristowe.
Hey, Vinos, real quick, if you are listening right now, which obviously you are or you wouldn't be hearing this, can you hit the subscribe or follow button on whatever platform you're on? Please. That one simple thing helps more than you even realize. It allows me to keep growing on this podcast and making these episodes the best they can possibly be, obviously for you. That's the only favor I'm going to ever ask, okay? It truly means the world to me. Thank you. Now let's get into it. Welcome to Off the Vine. I'm your host, Kaitlyn Bristowe, and today's guest is a two-time World Cup champion, one of the fiercest goalkeepers in the game, and just a total icon both on and off the field. Ashlyn Harris is here to talk about life after soccer, how she's building something entirely her own with her powerful new podcast, Wide Open, what motherhood and identity mean to her now, and how she's breaking every mold of what it means to be an athlete after the final whistle. She's real, she's vulnerable, bold, and she's doing it all her way, so let's get into it. I could talk to you for 3 hours because I have so many questions. And I always hate that it's like, okay, keep it into 45 minutes because I love going back into who people were like in your childhood.
Yeah.
And I do want to rewind all the way back there. Like if you could describe yourself as a child, what were you like as a child?
I actually weirdly just was in my hometown of Satellite Beach this weekend for my son's 3rd birthday. And I asked my mom these questions.
Yeah.
I was like, who was more complicated and nuts as a child? And my mom was like, you were, because I had an older brother.
Yeah.
And he was probably twice the size of me. We're only a year apart.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do everything with him. But for me to do that, I had to be able to like hang and hold my own.
Yeah.
So I was this like bullish little brat that wanted to like take on everything because my brother played a bunch of sports.
Yeah.
So I was like always out for blood and so confrontational with everyone because I didn't want people to be like, oh, your little sister. I didn't want to be like the weakest link.
underestimated.
Yeah, I didn't want to be the weakest link. And one thing I took a lot of pride in, I never wanted to be picked last.
Yeah.
I was a competitor as long as I can remember. So like if we were playing like Red Rover, and we're like 4 or 5, like I'm out to break arms.
That would be me now, but
Yeah.
not as a kid.
No. I was always hurting people or myself. I played dirty.
Yeah.
So my brother we had one TV in our house and he would come home from school and always change the the channel to like, I don't know, like Jerry Springer. And I hated it. I wanted to watch like MTV.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we actually like all watched MTV.
Yeah.
So when he wasn't looking, I would find whatever object I could to smack him over the head and take off running outside because I was faster than he was.
Funny.
So we were just like unhinged and it was unbearable. Like I was just gross and a grom, and I would swim in ditches when like streets would flood. I would get like bicycles and like skimboard.
You're a go-getter.
I was wild.
A wild overachiever.
Yep.
Yeah. Isn't it interesting though? Because that's literally probably what made you successful. And I think back, I asked this question too, because I think of me as a child and who I am today, and I'm the opposite. I was so painfully shy. I couldn't look people in the eyes. I couldn't be outgoing. I played softball and I couldn't get up and cheer because I thought people were staring at me. I wouldn't go to the vending machine, even in middle school. I would not go to the vending machine because I thought people were looking at me.
Oh my gosh.
And now I'm like, hey, look at me.
That's so
And
funny.
I'm very competitive now, and I'm like a go-getter. I just like to do and go and be and like live authentically and like be loud. And I don't know how that shifted for me.
Wow. Well, I'm the complete opposite now.
Funny.
So it's weird. We definitely have like different experiences.
Yeah. It's so interesting. I love that question just because it's so fascinating to me just to know, like, were you always competitive? Were you always into sports? Were you always into like going and doing and being? Because, I mean, you were an absolute beast on the field.
I'm a huge competitor.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit too much though. It's not fun to be around me. Like
I
I can't play ping pong or like beer
Same.
pong or flip cup or like, I don't like to lose ever. Like don't even walk next to me on a staircase.
Okay, and then my question is, do you not like to lose, or do you not like people to see you lose?
I don't like to lose because no one knows I'm competing with them, but I'm competing with them in my head.
I do the same thing. Like I grew up as a dancer, and I'd go to the dance studio, and Actually, I feel like this is around the time I really started coming out of my shell. I was probably 18 or 19, and I went to a dance class. And I remember I used to stand in the back and be so nervous, and I didn't want people looking at me. And then I
Mm.
started going, I want to be beside the best and try and do what they're doing and like do better.
Yeah.
And that's when I started getting really competitive and trying to like find my edge and see where I could go with it. And I think that fueled something in me. Maybe I just unlocked something in my brain that's when it happened for me. I can remember the dance
Probably.
class and who it was and everything.
Probably.
Now she's on Broadway.
Oh, she should be a therapist now. I'm really unlocking like
Yeah.
all the things.
That's part of why I like podcasting too, is I feel like it's just conversation and I start
Yeah. I
sometimes I
think
can't
it's
stop.
great.
But okay, I'm just gonna pump your tires for a couple seconds. But 2 World Cup titles and one of the most respected goalkeepers to ever play the game. I feel like that's so cool. And it also probably came with so many sacrifices.
Hmm.
Can you talk about the toll that pro soccer took on your body
Oh my
first and
God.
foremost?
My body is absolutely in shambles. I did like a body scan not too long ago, and they're like, you're in your 30s and you have arthritis in your neck, your back, your knees, your like
Oh
wrists.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, that's fun.
I mean, that adds up, but
Tell me something I don't know. I feel
right.
it every day I wake up. But I like, getting back to full circle of what we were just talking about. It's like I rode it till the wheels fell
Yeah.
off, like my body was such a gift to give me my dream. My
Yeah.
dream job was to play soccer and get out of the experience I was living. I wanted more for my life and I didn't want to be a product of my environment. So I really wanted to chase something great. And I did that. And now that I'm a mom, I'm like,
Mamacita?
yeah,
Mommy?
mama bear. And I'm just like, wow, there's so much more to life than chasing greatness in the big moments.
Mm.
And now I'm so present and still in the little ones that really are so much more impactful in my life. Like, it gives you so much perspective. Like, I kicked a ball for a living, and people are, like, so serious about it, and I'm like, I'm serious about, like, going to pick my kid up from school and seeing how happy it makes them.
Yeah. Do you
Or
think that came from, like, having living both worlds? Like, you got to do what 0.001% of people get to do, and now you get to be a mom, which a lot of people don't get to do. Do
yeah.
you think that gave you perspective? Or do you think
I
you'd
don't
always just
know. I just, like, was always chasing something.
yeah,
Like,
I relate to that.
I just feel like this mindset and this culture teaches us, like, even when we succeed, we need more.
Yeah.
And I got so hungry and, like, I never wanted to be complacent. I never wanted to get caught, like, static. I just always wanted to be moving to just to be exceptional.
Yeah.
And it's so exhausting. And now I'm like, for what? That
Right.
like what people don't realize is you raise the trophy and you have that one moment of like, I literally dedicated my whole life to this.
Mhm.
And then it's gone like that.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, now what?
Yeah.
So it leaves this feeling in your body where you're like, "Oh god," we talk about it, you get the blues a little bit afterwards because
Oh,
you
I can imagine.
dedicate
Yeah.
so much of your life to chasing that dream, and then it's just, like, over.
Because if you think about it, people get that feeling even coming back from a vacation. You work so hard for
Mhm.
that moment. People work their asses off to take a week off and go to that vacation, and everyone knows you get the vacation blues when you come back. Now, when it's your whole life, you eat, sleep, and breathe something that you've dreamt of, and you're doing it and you're living it, and you chase those highs, the lows must feel low after because you go, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
One of my girlfriends was a Olympic swimmer and she struggles with that still to this day. She's like, I do it with not being able to get pregnant.
Mm.
I'm like, why am I not achieving? Like
Mhm.
it's so many things. And I have friends that played in the NHL that come out of that and they're like, what's next? And I only relate to this. I danced my whole life and I got to go on Dancing with the Stars. And my whole life I thought, if I could win that mirror ball,
Mm.
what else could I do? I would hang it up. I'd be like, "Well, I'm good. I did it. I
Mhm.
won the mirror ball." And then I go, "What's next?"
Yeah.
Okay, well, I gotta keep that. I gotta go on tour with them now. And then when I don't, I'm like, "Are they gonna do an all-star season? Like, I need
Yeah.
to win that." And I do. I find myself putting other things that I know I want in life. I'm 40. I just turned 40, and I know I want a family, but I keep putting things off and pushing things away because I go, but what's next on the career bucket list? And
Mm.
I know that I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah.
tired and I want a family and I want to be present and I want those little moments.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I know this started with how's your body, but
Yeah. No,
you know,
it's the truth though. We like really, you have to live life to the fullest and be present
right.
while you're living it. And I
Yeah.
think that's where people get lost a lot. It's
Yeah.
like you're on this ascension, like this you have this fire and spirit inside you. You always want more, 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 more. Well, the truth is nothing will ever be enough.
Right.
You know, when you're
Yeah.
chasing greatness, it's like nothing will ever be enough because you just said it. It's like, okay, now what's next?
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me, I had to really reflect on a very beautiful long career, and I'm like, but did I enjoy it?
Mm-hmm.
Did I live in the moment, or what was I always ready for what was next? And I like dropped that rope, and now I'm living in the moment, and my no's have become so much more powerful than my yeses. And people know, like, when I have my kids, don't ask me to do shit. I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not. Like, I want to be present. I want to be a good mom. I want to live in these small, beautiful moments that don't have to be these spectacular, grand, you know, picture book
Yeah.
perfection things. It's like literally picking my kid up from school
Yeah.
or taking them to the movies or taking them to the beach for their birthday. Those are my greatest like moments now, and it's being still enough to live within those small moments and not seek such grand spectacular
How do you make
ones.
that change though? How do you go from that? Is it just by having that experience of like seeing like how the cheesy like seeing or seeing the world through the eyes of like your children now? Like
No, it's just a
how
lot of therapy and a
oh,
lot of work.
then good, I'm on the right track then.
Yeah, no, seriously, because it really is. It's like I want my kids to see how hard I work, but I want them to know like the greatest gift was showing up,
Yeah.
and both can be true at once.
Mhm. This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Being smart with your money doesn't have to be complicated or stressful. And that's why I love the Progressive's Name Your Price tool. You literally tell them what you want to pay for car insurance, and then they go ahead and show you options that fit your budget. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, flexible, and actually kind of fun to see what works. It's kind of like being in control without overthinking it, which we love. Finding the plan that makes sense for you and your life. Plus, who doesn't love a little win when you realize you might save money along the way? So go check it out at progressive.com. Your wallet will thank you. I What? I promise. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law, not available in all states. I know this kind of goes without saying. It's just so hard to quiet your mind at night. The to-do list, tomorrow's early alarm, juggling schedules, it never ends. But slipping into Boll and Branch sheets instantly makes me feel calm and cozy. Like I can finally relax and just let the day go. I feel like sheets really matter, and the softness of these sheets allows my whole body just to melt. Their sheets are made with the finest 100% organic cotton, free from toxins, and they only get softer with every wash. I actually know this from experience, and I was like, yeah, right. And they really do. Plus, they're ethically crafted by artisans who earn fair wages, so you can also feel good about your sleep in every way. And honestly, I loved my sheets so much, I just upgraded my down comforter and duvet set too. And with their 30-night worry-free guarantee, it's basically a no-risk upgrade to the best night's sleep you've ever had. So what I've noticed is, well, such a difference. I feel like my sleep feels deeper, more restorative, and just little things like washing them, the fact that they get better and better over time always blows my mind. So feel the difference an extraordinary night's sleep can make with Boll and Branch. Get 15% off plus free shipping on your first set of sheets at bollandbranch.com/vine20. That's bollandbranch.com/vine20 to save 15% and unlock free shipping. Exclusions apply. What do you think your biggest like fears are for the world that we're living in? Is it raising kids in it? Is that
Oh God, everything about it is awful. Living it, raising kids, this whole social media has gotten so unhinged. People are so open to just we're in this weird cancel culture. We want to hurt people. We don't want to
love a
help our
downfall?
love a downfall. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, you guys, it's so hard out there. It's hard to make money. Everything's expensive. People can't put food on the table. People can't like keep a roof over their head. And it just has gotten
You're-
to be this,
And they're mad at you for living your life.
there's just this war amongst all of us that we want to hurt each other. And I'm like, what about just helping your neighbor?
Yeah.
I used to like go knock on my neighbor's door and be like, I'm really hungry. What are you guys making for dinner?
Yes.
Like everything is so siloed, everything is so fragmented. Like we've lost the fucking plot.
Yeah. Do you think there's hope or no? Because I think like when I choose to go and find good, I'll find it. But you really have to go searching. And so I think of people like yourself having important conversations on podcasts, having, a platform and everything that you're doing. And I'm like, that gives me hope. And I remember my friend, because I said I was so scared to bring kids into the world. And she said her dad told her something. And he said, if you don't bring good into the world, who will?
Mm-hmm.
And we have to keep having that mentality of like, good people can raise good children and our next generation can,
Yeah.
be better. So,
Like we're responsible of raising these children.
Yeah.
Like it is our job
yeah.
to provide them the tools to navigate life. That is my responsibility, to raise two very good humans to go off into the world to spread good.
Yeah.
Not to harm other people, not to bully people in silence and I'm like, my kids know the 3 rules. Rules are the rules in the house.
Mhm.
You don't like polite, you don't say no in this house is no thank you. And kindness is currency.
Yeah.
It's the biggest one, and sharing is care. Like, and they're 2 and 3. Like I don't care. I want my children to understand that they have to show up in this world and be good humans above all else. I'm not saying, "Oh, do you want to be a professional athlete when you
Right.
grow up? Or do you want to be a fire person or a police like that's usually what we teach kids, is to dream this and to chase it. I'm like really laying the foundation at an early age of, you know what I want to be? I want to be kind.
Mm.
I want to be a good neighbor. I want to show up when people are hurting the most. I want to lend a hand. Like those are the words coming out of my kids' mouths at an early age. And I think that's important. I'm not
It's so
scared of the world outside my walls because it's my job to prepare them for that.
Yeah. Oh, God, how do you prepare?
Well, you tell them the truth.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not living this pretend life. Like I cry front of my kids and I explain why I'm sad.
Yeah.
I explain why I had a hard day, and like I want my kids to be empathetic and they give me a hug and they get it
Yeah.
at an early age, because I'm not pretending like everything's good and the second they walk out of there they're like,
Right.
this is not what you were talking about.
Yeah. I feel like my parents' generation, which I think this is a nice thing for what they knew, but I do feel like my parents tried so hard to protect me.
Oh my God, they swept everything under the rug.
Yes.
That is the generation of being like, no problem here. We're not fighting. What do you mean we're fighting?
Right. It's so interesting because I feel like I had both in my life where my parents were really good at, like, if they did have an argument, we would sit down and talk about our feelings and why it happened. And also at the same time, my mom loved things being perfect. And it was because she wanted us to have such a happy childhood
Mhm.
that she did sweep a lot under the rug. So I feel like I saw both and it was so confusing. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I still to this day, I'm learning how to not let fear like take over. I live in fear a lot of times. And I'm like, that's so interesting for me because I still go do things scared,
Yeah.
but I do live in fear. I'm scared of everything.
I think that's very normal.
Yeah.
Though as you get older, like when we were young, wild and free, like think about it. Just we would be on roller coasters. I was jumping off like bridges
Yeah.
where I lived because of we were right by the intercoast. Like I was a daredevil.
Yeah.
I did it all. But when you get older, you're like, my body doesn't feel like that anymore. I wake surfed the other day and I woke up and threw my back out. It's just
Yeah.
like, girl, I'm like, I'm good. I don't need to be
I was
doing all that.
This goes back to our earlier conversation, but I was thinking about your body and what it's been through because like the lifespan of an athlete is not
No.
very long career-wise because of the toll it takes on your body and your brain, and adrenaline when you're out there playing soccer is probably just like separates it.
Well, no one's ever playing when you're at the highest level, no one's ever playing 100%. That doesn't exist.
Right.
You just don't. Everyone has something. Everyone either has a mental block, a physical issue, something's going on. I think the best athletes in the world, and this is a lot of the unlearning things I talk about publicly, is, we're taught to push through everything.
Yeah.
We're taught to compartmentalize. We're taught to disassociate. We're taught to be a machine, that there's no pain, no gain, that you'll pass out before you die, that, rub dirt on it. Everything you hear in Western culture to build you into this machine. But then again, it carries over into your personal life, and it could really harm and hurt you,
Mhm.
because I was a team player. It never was about me, and it never was about the way my body was hurting and the length I had to go to make sure I was prepared. But now that I'm not an athlete, like, those are some really toxic traits
Yeah.
in terms of, like, showing up in the real world. It's like, yeah, I am hurting. And yeah, I don't have to put everyone before myself. And, there's a lot of unlearning that mentality, because it is very selfish, and it is to be at the top and to be the best. Nothing else mattered. Like, it's a
I think
weird
of like
complex.
Simone Biles in that situation too. But then I go, is there sports without that mentality?
No.
Yeah.
That's why the strongest survive.
Yeah.
It's one thing getting there, it's a whole nother thing staying there,
Yeah.
and especially over 10 plus years.
And I don't know the answer to this, but what was your decision to quit? Was it physical? Was it mental? Was it
All of it.
your
I was
you were just
done.
done?
I was
And
done.
you knew it. Your body
Oh,
knew it. Your
I
mind knew
didn't
it.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
I did everything hurt. It was just like I didn't want to be on the road anymore. I had a kid,
Yeah.
and then I had another one,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm done. This
Yeah.
is like not that fun. It's not that lucrative. It's like, what am I doing?
Right.
It's not, just wasn't worth it
Right.
anymore. And I've already accomplished everything I was set out to accomplish and some. It's like I had nothing left to prove. It's
Mhm.
weird. In sports, you're always having to prove
Yeah.
something. It's like you got to prove your worth every day. You have to prove this. You have to prove this to your coaches. You got to prove this to your staff. You got to prove this to your fans. I'm like, I'm fucking over it.
Well, especially in a public eye too. Like this happens, I mean, that happens in corporate America. That happens in like other jobs too. But then you're in front of the world with that kind of scrutiny too. I'm like,
And people always say, and I say this, and it's not to be an asshole. And God, I love the fact that people still play for the love of the game. When the game becomes very professional and high tech and high performance, the love of the game goes away. It's a job.
yeah.
It's not, there isn't that kind of freedom that everyone talks about. I think that's like, people aren't telling themselves, this is them lying to themselves to keep it going. Like, the freedom just to play, that was like when you played outside and nothing mattered, no one was getting paid, it didn't matter who was starting, and there wasn't rules. It was like you and your friends went out and played this game called World Cup. That was freedom. College, you know, was maybe a little bit of freedom, but even then, it's like now you're trying to get into the draft, and now you're trying to get these coaches to see you. It's like there's so much that comes with it, and so much pressure, and so much performative, like, pressure of always being at the top and always getting picked and always this and that. And I'm just like, I don't know, like, if I really enjoyed it by the end.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. You wore it out. Like, you
Yeah.
did as much as you possibly could. You were a champion. You were all these things. You did it, and it's good to know when it's time to stop. I don't think a lot of people could do. I'm still trying to figure out, like, not to stop, but, like, slow down
Slow down.
and choose like, time is going by so fast for me, and I've got, like, something I won't talk about it here, but, like, some devastating news happened the other day, and it really put things into perspective for me, and I'm like, even that news that shook me to my core, I'm still like, "Okay, I'll deal with it later." Like, I what do I need to do next? Like, I don't know what it is for me. I want something to click.
Yeah, I think that that is the problem when we become so fixated and so consumed about this, like, I always call it this pursuit of perfection. Like,
Yeah,
I want to be at the best at everything. But if I do that, I'm actually missing out on
yeah,
the little moments in life that matter the most. And
exactly.
I just went and saw my family this weekend, and we were all together, and we were all celebrating. Like, I get that once a
I
year.
know.
And eventually, like, that time is gonna end.
Yeah,
Like, my parents are getting older, I'm getting older, my brother's getting older, my aunts and uncles. And it's like you really have to take a step back and realize once it's gone, it's gone. And if you're always chasing what's next, you really don't live in the moment.
Yeah.
And there's no redo, there's no going back.
Yeah.
And yeah, like health and life and legacy, all those things, you got to really take a step back and be like, what actually makes me happy?
Right.
Because if you're always chasing what's next, you're never in the moment of what's now, and it's not a great way to live.
Yeah. I guess I should at least say there's improvement because me 5 years ago, even worse.
Mhm.
So I'm really starting to get to a place where I'm talking about it more openly. I'm saying it out loud. I'm
Yeah.
like, I really am. I'm ready. I just, I just got to do it
Yeah.
because I'm the only person that's standing in my own way.
Yeah.
And it's not like
Typical.
it's not like life stops when you choose to do the things that are making you happy too. You have your podcast. You still get to go do work things. You still get to like live your full
Yeah.
life. It's not like life stops when,
No, not
yeah,
at all.
yeah. It's
It only gets better, actually.
yeah. That's
When you actually start enjoying it, it just gets better.
yeah. This is what I've heard too. So word on the street. I wanted to talk about your podcast. It feels like it's not just a podcast. Like I really do feel like it is a mission,
Mhm.
and I feel like it's something that I love about podcasts is when it can be unfiltered and when it can just be raw and real and honest.
Mhm.
So, what was it? Kind of just that felt like another platform. Like, what made you want to start a podcast?
I just was so we spoke about this at the beginning, but I think people think they know you based on being in the spotlight or in the public eye. And wide open, for me is I'm so much more than what I do.
Hmm.
And there's so much in my story that made me be this way. And it's really peeling back the layers of a lot of high performing people, whether sport, entertainment, anything in between, is like, okay, like, let's peel away all the bullshit. Like, this isn't a, filtered Instagram photo. Like, tell me what it took to get here and tell me who you are outside of what you do. Like, let's be like real and wide open and be raw and unfiltered, and I'm gonna hold you in this process. And a lot of times we're all crying, we're all being open because I think life moves so quickly that we don't take enough time to see each other
Yeah.
and make space for each other's pain in a time that's really hard. And there's a reason why we're sitting here. We have stories, we have moments that have made us and broke us and everything in between. And I want to be able to talk about those moments.
Hmm. Hmm.
And those are we talk about this like the small moments that have made us.
Yeah.
And we don't, after a game, I get a 30-second hit. Tell me about this. And what do you think about, like, nothing is real.
Yeah.
Nothing is real out there. It's all what I choose to share. It's a highlight reel.
Yeah.
And I didn't want that for my podcast. I don't want to talk about the greatest moments of your life. That's all out there. All these interviews are so repetitive and redundant. I'm like, tell me the shit that you're scared to share. And let me hold you through the process. And I'm going to share with you. And I'm going to like hold this space to be real.
Yeah.
And you're going to be okay. And I don't think we have that enough in this landscape of social media and media marketing, advertising, all of it. It's all fluffed bullshit. We live in such a comparison culture because of social media that we're always fearful of, like, we're not doing enough and we're not doing it this way or that way or checking. It's like, what does that even
I
mean?
know because and you have to live in this place of fear that you're gonna get canceled and that someone's gonna take something the wrong way and then they're gonna love the takedown of
Yeah.
who you are and what you've worked for.
And it's like when I look on social media nowadays, everyone's filtering everything.
Yeah.
Their bodies, they're shrinking, their face, there's not one pore. I'm like, y'all, we're shooting in like 4 and 8K now.
Yeah.
Like, stop doctoring everything.
Yeah.
Like, what are we teaching our young children that we would like? We've moved so far away from reality that now everyone's like, Like everything is so filtered and that's not real life. And
Right.
like we have to be able to talk about it and expose it. I'm like on social media, I'm like, no, I'm not. They have options to make my nose look skinny and my lips look. I'm like, what the are
I
we
know, it's crazy.
doing?
I actually saw Kendall Jenner. I don't know if she was promoting something. I don't care if she was promoting something. It was amazing to see her real skin.
Hmm.
She she had pores. She had
Imagine that.
blemishes. She had
Imagine that. I have a pimple right here. You can even zoom in. Imagine that. Jesus, a pimple?
I
A blemish? No
I
way.
know, and it was one of, a Kardashian of all people, and I was like and she didn't acknowledge it. She wasn't like, "Oh, don't mind my skin." She was just like, "Hey, I'm showing this product," and I was like, "Her skin looks like mine when I don't have makeup on." And everyone thinks my skin's perfect, and I'm like, "But that's because you see me on social media. I usually have makeup on. I'm usually not showing, like" I mean, I will sometimes. I'll be like, "Get a load of this is it," but
Yeah.
I covered up so today I I swear I turned 40 and shit just started happening. Like I'm like I am getting acne around my mouth. I started getting breakouts in like down like around the bottom of my nose is now like a itchy rash.
Oh, yummy.
Yeah, it's really fun. I got a zit on my tummy. Look at I have a zit on my
Wow.
tummy.
It's like, it's life.
It's
It's life.
It's but I like
God.
I do I mean, going back to the podcast, it's like that's why you have this podcast wide open. Let's just crack people open. Let's talk about real shit. Let's get vulnerable.
Mhm.
What is something that surprised you from hosting it?
People, like, honestly breaking down
Yeah,
has been really, like, so therapeutic to normalize, like, real human interaction because it's not the podcast is not performative. It's like it's real,
yeah,
and it's, like, hard conversations to talk about things that have I'm healing in the process of hosting in a
for
weird
sure.
way, and it is very therapeutic for me to be able to sit with people and have real intimate conversations about struggle and addiction
Yeah.
and divorce and the loss of a loved one. Like
Mm.
these are the real anchors that connect us. It's not whether I was, you know, on stage and won a this or that or this medal. It's really in those moments you find true meaning
Yeah.
and true connection and true reflection. And we need that more. We need that with what's going on in life, that life is becoming so siloed and so fragmented and so separate, and we need to get back to the point of like showing up for our neighbors, and life is hard right now for everyone.
Yeah.
Like nothing right now is that great. So we need to lean on each other more than ever and show up and not be so judgmental with everything that everyone does.
Well, I think it's nice to like show another side of people that even for yourself, like starting the podcast, people get to know a different side of you.
Mhm.
And having guests on where people think they know them and then showing a complete different side to them. And I always remember this saying stuck with me from years ago, but it was like vulnerability will always create connection.
Mhm.
And that's what you're doing on the podcast. That's probably why people break down is because you're giving them the space to do so. And
Mhm.
sometimes that's all people need.
Yeah.
And that can, of course, like you said, be healing for you because it gives everybody permission to just be and feel and share our like we can choose what we want to share, but we have a lot of shadows and dark moments in our
Everyone's got skeletons in the closet.
everyone has skeletons.
Everyone has a past. Everyone has something,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Like who's been a favorite guest of yours so far?
I really, really enjoyed Billie Jean King.
Ah.
I was really, that was a very, very special moment for me just to really unpack what she went through in her career and coming out, or not coming out, she was outed
Oh.
for being gay, and she lost everything, and she was open about having like a serious eating disorder and what the public eye does to you, and how we fall into this trap of just of what society expects.
Mhm.
And it's been really that was one of my favorite ones. But I've done ones with Adam Grant and Jillian Turecki and Dr. Laurie Santos, really talking about this evolution of becoming, who we are today, and how love and pain and sacrifice and just really picking the brains of some of the smartest humans out there, paving the way in social psychology or writing New York Times best-selling books. And I think that has been really eye-opening for me and therapeutic for me and humbling in a lot of ways. So I'm enjoying all of it. There's not like one guest. We talked about Colton, like hearing for me firsthand. I'm a gay woman in women's sports.
Yeah.
I am celebrated.
Yeah.
There has never been a time where I walked into a locker room and I was made to feel like I couldn't be me. I can't imagine what that was like for him. And truthfully, there are really no active players, male players in the NBA and the MLB and the NHL. And it's like, hello, statistically, that there are men in there that are gay that feel so unsafe to live their truth. Like, I don't know what that's like to show up. And you talked about it being the 0.0000001% and not bringing my whole self to the equation and having to hide a big part of who I am. That would be really, really hard for me.
Oh my gosh, talk about like getting lost in who you are.
Yeah. And
All you do is all he probably felt is so much shame for so long from every corner of
hearing
his
what
life.
coaches, like how they would talk to him and the homophobic comments and like, I'm just like, well, no wonder there's so much shame and fear and all, like, we're nowhere close of men feeling safe enough to come out. We're still like yanking pride flags and pulling pride games away because certain men don't feel comfortable wearing a rainbow number. Get the over yourself.
Seriously.
What are you gonna? What is something gonna burn in the back of your number into your skin?
It's embarrassing.
Like, just stop.
Like,
you guys. It doesn't make you less of a man. It makes you more of a man being inclusive and representing everyone and showing up and being like, I don't give a shit what you do behind closed doors. Like, I care about who you are and, how you show up and treat people and how good you are at your craft and how you're dedicated to being this or that. Like, we've really gotten so far away from the plot. It's really sad to me.
It is sad. Did you always feel celebrated being gay? Like, did you know from when you were little? Was it a learned thing?
Yeah, I don't know. It just like, it just was always there.
Yeah.
Whether I could put my finger and articulate it or put words to it, it was always there. And there were always gay people around us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. It never felt like, ooh, I can't be like open about my sexual orientation.
Right. Because I feel like a lot of people who probably come on your show too have different stories. Like
Massively.
Yeah. Okay, you know how much I love tracking everything? My steps, my sleep, even my screen time. Well, now there's a way to track your cat's health too. Gosh, I've wanted a cat for like 10 years now. So Pretty Litter is a color-changing litter that actually monitors your cat's urine, flagging potential issues like pH changes or blood so you can catch problems early. Genius, right? It's also super low maintenance, ships straight to your door, no hauling heavy bags, and the crystals are ultra absorbent, controls odor, and can last up to a month. Pretty Litter makes it possible to keep your home fresh and your cat healthy without all the stress. Now, I'm telling you, if I had a cat, I would 100% use this. And I figured I probably have a lot of vinos out there who have cats, so I wanted to share. It's smart, it's simple, and it keeps you ahead of the game. So right now, save 20% on your first order and get a free cat toy, cute, at prettylitter.com/vine. That's prettylitter.com/vine to save 20% on your first order and get a free little cat toy. Pretty Litter cannot detect every feline health issue or prevent or diagnose diseases. A diagnosis can only come from a licensed veterinarian. Terms and conditions apply. See site for details. I don't know if you agree with me. I just feel like there's something so bittersweet about summer coming to an end. I feel that way about a lot of seasons. I just loved my summer setup, bright colors, fresh decor, all the little touches that made the season feel special. And Wayfair obviously helped me just elevate my summer space. And now as fall starts sneaking up on me, September 22nd this year. Can you believe it? I can't. I'm already thinking about how to cozy up the house. I already started bringing out all the soft throws, swapping in warmer pillows, and making little corners extra comfy for me and the boys. And it's just amazing how adding just like a little few touches, like, I don't know, a new rug or some ambient lighting can make your home feel ready for a new season without doing a full overhaul. Wayfair makes it so easy to find exactly what you need for your space, whether it's a little cozy upgrade or a bigger statement piece. Time absolutely flies. And before you know it, fall is literally going to be here. We all know this. So why not enjoy every moment of the transition with a home that feels fresh, cozy, and totally you? Get organized, refreshed, and ready for the season ahead at wayfair.com. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. What do you think, like, for somebody that is still trying to figure themselves out, man or woman? Do you have advice? Do you give advice on the podcast for, like, if people are struggling? If, like, have you heard people's stories of what inspired other people to live more authentically?
I'm like a very big I think sharing your scars is the most brave thing you can do.
Mhm.
So,
And not
you know,
compare scars
it's
either.
not yeah, exactly. I like I'm very open and honest to the extent I feel safe and comfortable, but I'm not a projector of giving advice because everyone needs to feel it and see it for themselves. It's like telling a friend like, "Oh, that partner is not," like they have to see it for themselves. And I am always the friend that wants to love and care and hold and meet people where they're at. It is not my job to tell people how to live, how to choose life, how to show up. My job is to be selective and smart about the people I choose to surround myself with
Yeah.
because they have to make me better. Yeah, I don't necessarily have this grand answer of how to live life. I really just meet people where they're at, and I want to hold space for all different types of moments in life because life is a roller coaster, and I just try to really be consistent and kind and caring in the way I show up.
Yeah. I think even that alone is good advice. Like, it doesn't have to be some grand, like,
Like
life-changing quote.
sometimes I can just sit here
Yeah.
and that's enough.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
sometimes that could be, 3 seconds in a coffee shop making eye contact and like really genuinely just saying hello to someone could really change someone's life.
The other day, I was actually so scared to post this because I put hands-free on my Instagram, and I'm sitting at this red light that's always the longest red light in Nashville, and I was gonna, I remember I was like, "Oh, I saw something in my DMs, I was gonna respond to it," and I hit the start, and then my ADHD brain stopped, and I started thinking about something else, and then I saw this homeless man on the street, and I was smiling because he's always dancing and so happy, and he's just and I always see him on this corner, and I'm like, "That guy's so smart being on the longest red light of the corner, dancing." He's just, I'm like, "That's cool, that's cool." So and then I got all lost, and so I started smiling, and I was like, "Sorry, this man is dancing and it's making me laugh. He's always on this corner." And I started explaining it, and I drove past him, and I still had it rolling, the camera, and I said, "I love passing you. You're always so," like, and he's just saying something positive on
Yeah.
my, and I go, "I'm gonna come back and get you next time." And I ended up posting it because it was such a real joyful moment that I wasn't like, "I'm gonna start the camera and I'm gonna talk about a homeless man because then I'm gonna be a good person," but
Yeah.
I was scared that people would perceive it that way. And I was just like, "Caitlin, stop overthinking it." Anyways, I ended up going to get money and give him some money and, like, ask his name, and the way he looked at me, he was just he's a real person.
Mhm.
He was like, "Thank you for caring."
Mhm.
And he was so happy, and I just was like, "What a human connection that just felt so good." And he said it made his day.
Yeah.
And I was like, "How
Well, probably made yours too.
it did. It did." And then something came up on my Instagram, I don't know if it was for you or TikTok or whatever it was, and it was this sweet little girl in her backseat. The mom was like, wanted to document it because this girl, it made her day. She was giving out cheeseburgers. She was probably 12, giving out cheeseburgers to homeless people on the streets. And she was like, "Oh, mom, that felt so good. Like, I want to keep going."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yes, keep sharing this kind of stuff." It was
It's the
so,
truth. They say when you're experiencing so much grief and like a really hard time, the best thing you can do is show up for other people because you heal each other in the process.
yeah. And you don't even realize how much
Mm-mm.
you yourself needed that
Yep.
moment too.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. And that you're doing that on the podcast
I
too.
hope
You
so.
really
I
are.
mean, it's I feel exhausted coming out of it
Well,
because
yeah, it's a lot.
it's a lot
Yeah, it's
to
a lot.
absorb and take in, and you have to be very present and
Yeah.
very empathetic, and like, your job is to guide and hold people through the
Yeah.
process of feeling safe enough to share some really hard shit. And
Mhm.
that's like, I don't take that lightly.
Yeah.
That's a really serious obligation I take very seriously.
Yeah. I think people probably feel that when they're with you, though. I mean, that's what I mean, even in the 2 seconds I talked to Colton about podcasting with you today, he, like, had it was, like, text after text of just, like, the nicest things to say about who you are as a person, which that's
Very
amazing.
sweet.
And I've heard the same things about Sophia. I've never met her, but,
She's the fucking saint. I am so incredibly lucky. I'm obsessed with her.
oh,
I know.
I love love.
And it's like, it doesn't get old.
Oh. Okay, I love that love. I actually am quite, Debbie Downer when it comes to love, but when I hear that, because I know you mean it,
Mhm.
I get so much hope because, like, how long have you 2 been together?
Just a little over, I would say, a year.
I feel like you really get to know someone after 6 months, so a year and a half, and I mean, it's not just like you're going on dates, like, she's immersed in your family,
Yeah.
like, it's real, it's the real deal, and to know that that's how you still feel about her,
Mhm.
it does make me believe, like, that that's possible. How did you 2 meet?
We've actually known each other a long
You
time.
have?
Yeah, we've known each other through, like, the just the business of sport and
Yeah.
entertainment for a long time, and we ended up, seeing each other at different events, and she loved soccer, and she would, like, show up to games, and then she became a owner in Angel City, so we always kind of ran in the
Yeah,
same friend group,
yeah.
and one of my closest friends in New York used to be married to one of her best friends. So it's
Really?
like we always ran in the same group.
Oh.
We just never saw each other that much because I was, busy playing soccer and she's busy trying to change the world.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm like, woman never stops.
What's your favorite thing about her?
She's just very, very kind
Yeah,
and loving and caring and shows up like fully for her people.
yeah. I have
And
heard that.
she could be, she could walk into a room and be who she is, and she chooses to be so humble and so kind and so supportive, like she's a unicorn,
Ye
like, just she's magical. It's
Aw.
very like, she just met a bunch of my family for the first time, this weekend, and every single person who meets her is moved by her energy and
Aw.
presence and how kind and supportive and caring and loving she is, and it's not performative, and
Yeah.
she's not putting on this front to, like, get people to like her. It's just who she is.
Wow. I truly like I said, you and I have 34 mutual friends. Her and I have so many mutual friends, and I have heard that from so many people about her.
Mhm.
Yeah, I really like, some of my dear friends are really close with her,
Like,
and
she would give
yep.
the shirt off of her back for anyone,
Yeah.
and she is, like, that is who she is at her core.
And that's I mean, because the world that she's grown up in too can break you and to turn you into a jaded human.
Mhm.
So to always remain humble and kind is, like, so powerful.
Yeah, and she makes me like, she's on this pursuit of, like, really leaving the world better than she found it. She volunteers all the time, and I mean, she says yes to everything.
Yeah.
She really does. And it's because it matters to her, and she wants to really leave this world better than she found it, and she won't rest until like that happens, and it's really activated a sense of, like, wanting to be better myself,
Which is
And
what a
I
quality
yeah,
in a
she
partner,
really
you know?
moves me to I kinda, like, would stay in my own lane and focus on the things that, matter to me, and I'm like, "Oh my god, there's this world outside of my experience that I can advocate for and really show up in a meaningful way," and she's really pushed me to do that
Yeah.
and really like find my voice in a lot of this activism space, and I'm grateful for it because it's really, you know, brought out a side in me that I didn't really with before, which
Yeah.
is really genuine and fun.
Yeah. Okay, really quickly. You were working with Hello Sunshine. That's on my bucket list.
Yeah, they're awesome.
That's
They're
like I just love Reese Witherspoon. I think she is I don't know where I was talking about this. I don't remember if it was in a conversation, on a podcast, whatever it was. We were talking about the fact that Reese Witherspoon can stand up for, like, what she believes in, and she can be this, like, badass, but also be the Southern
Mhm.
belle and, like, play these roles of, like, I think it was Reese Witherspoon that said, "Watch for it in movies now, and you won't miss it," where women always are like, "Well, what do we do
Yeah.
now?"
Yeah.
That was Reese, right?
It's so true.
And
Like,
she has important things to say and do, and I just love her.
I really, really value her perspective on life, and I'll say this, I really think, last year was my first time going to her Shine Away event in LA, and I highly recommend women to go, like, check it out and listen to the way she speaks about her industry, because we all suffer from the same thing, and, she lived in this male-dominated industry, and she just didn't have a company like Hello Sunshine that she could see herself in, so she
Yes.
built it.
Yes.
And how freaking powerful and
I
beautiful
love
is that? And the way she speaks about, "Well, I'm not gonna keep bitching about it. I'm just gonna build it my own
Yeah.
for myself and for these women." And, right now I've been working in the sports docuseries space and the unscripted part of Hello Sunshine. It is all women and telling the stories through the lens and perspective of other women. There's something so beautiful and sacred, and it doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
So when I'm on set and we're filming interviews of these insanely successful women who are paving the way in sports, to have a seat at the table to do it right, and for them to say, "We need people like you because you've experienced it, and we wanna do right by these women
Yes.
in an industry that hasn't necessarily done right by them for so long." There's so much power in that, and, my bosses, they are constantly inspiring me to think bigger and give me the platform to talk about my expertise through the lens that I've actually lived.
Yeah. So wait, what is
S
your role with Hello Sunshine then? Are you hosting something?
I'm not hosting anything, I'm a producer on
So
these.
you could host, you're an athlete and you're very creative.
Mhm.
That's cool.
I love it, and I wanna sit at the intersection of all of it,
Yeah.
because I don't wanna just do one thing.
Yeah.
I want to
Well, you're not.
build shows, I wanna be in shows, I wanna dedicate, commercial investment into women's sports, which is what I do with Deep Blue.
Yeah.
I want to have meaningful conversations,
Yeah.
which is what I do with iHeart. I wanna sit at the middle of all of this,
Yeah.
and I'm doing it in a real way, and, it's also paving the way for other female athletes to not feel like they just have to coach or they just have to commentate.
Yeah.
Like, these are really smart, smart women who have to start over
Yep.
at 36
And
to.
they've clearly got the grind and the grit and the
Yes.
passion.
And they can be, in these C-suite positions. They can pull the strings. They can be business owners, and that's, like, really important for me to be able to show that we belong in those rooms as well.
Yeah. Ugh, I got like, it does give me goosebumps just because it is one thing for people to talk about it, but you're doing it,
Mhm.
you know? Like, you really are doing it all, and you are sitting at that intersection, and you are a part of so much change and creativity and, like,
Mhm.
representation and so many things. Do you give yourself enough credit? Are you proud of yourself?
I'm very proud of
Good.
myself, and I love what I do.
Yeah.
I'm really, really loving what I do, and it's constantly something different every day with new challenges, and makes me think out of the bubble. And now I'm sitting with other high-level producers thinking about building new movies and new shows and creating, and it's just opening, every door that opens, I'm not fearful to walk through it and
Yeah.
be my full self, and it's really working for me. And if I fail or if I get something wrong, I learn from it and I pick my, boots up, pull my boots back up, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "All right, hit the ground running," and making sure, like, I keep grinding.
Yeah. How old are you?
39.
Oh, when is 40?
October this year.
Only 39, so
Mhm.
there's still so much. Oh, that's so
I really do feel inspired by you, and I'm not just saying that to be cheesy. Like, I really do feel like I'm like something came alive in me today.
I love that.
Yeah, so thank
I
you.
hope so. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I just like these kinds of conversations. So thank you so
Of
much for being
course.
here.